this is something, a new valve technology that some of you may have heard, some of you may have seen the slide. So Dr. Kapadia, we thought like this may be a good opportunity to kind of show you some of this valve concept. So it is a new TAVR valve made by a company called MiRus, and Siegel is name of the valve itself. We'll show you the concept and the valve design. My only disclosure here is I've advised the company on the designing, but have no financial conflicts, and obviously Dr. Kapadia has also advised us on this. So Siegel, this new valve is using a new stent frame with a new alloy, which is rhenium based. It's nickel free, and the alloy itself has a nitride oxide coating, and the frame has these flags which are used for commercial alignment during deployment. The leaflets are dry leaflets, they're porcine and treated with anti-calcification properties. The crimper that is used for this valve specially folds these leaflets and organizes them in a very special way, as opposed to just crimping them and bunching them. Has a conformable PVL skirt, and all of these valve sizes are delivered through an 8 French expandable sheath. So a little bit about this new alloy, rhenium superalloy. It's being used in orthopedic spine surgery and foot surgery rods and plates. It's 2 to 3 times stronger, durable, 2 to 3 times stronger, and has much less recoil, which is very important for our TAVR platforms. Over last several decades of use have shown superior biocompatibility, and it's very radiographically visible. One of the issues in spine surgery is a rod fracture. On the left side, you see a titanium or a cobalt chromium rod, and with repeated fatigue levels, these rods fracture as often as 30% of the times. On the right side is this rhenium-based rod, even a 4.5 millimeter, which is thinner than the usual rod, there's 0%. Again, speaking to the strength of this alloy, it is truly a super alloy, a stronger alloy, with less recoil. And recoil is important for our TAVR valves. Sometimes you'll see that in a calcified valve, when you inflate a balloon expandable valve, as the balloon goes down, the frame shrinks. Oftentimes we will use a double tap technique or a post dilation. This rhenium has almost no recoil. This is the comparison of the stent frame. On the right side is you see the Siegel balloon expandable valve with only 18 cells. The thickness of these struts is same as the Sapien balloon expandable valve. It's just less number of cells there, so less metal in that, which is why you're able to crimp it down to that 8 French profile. Less metals, less cells makes it wider access for coronaries. And the other neat feature about this valve is there is no shortening of the frame as you inflate it. So this is more like a coronary stent deployment. Wherever these margins are, upper and lower, it will stay exactly the same. So because it does not foreshorten, the balloon, you don't need a longer balloon. The balloon is shorter as well. So there is less balloon interaction in the LVOT, which we believe will play a role in conduction abnormalities. On the left side, you see our commercial valves that do foreshorten from their crimp state. Delivery system is an 8 French expandable sheath. This is how the handle looks like. There is a flex knob in the front. There is a fine adjustment knob. And at the right on the handle itself is a commercial alignment tab or the wheel that you use it right before deploying the valve. So first in human study was done for classics high gradient severe aortic stenosis patients. These were the baseline characteristics usually seen in all our aortic stenosis trial. Couple notable things were 3 of the 5 patients had peripheral arterial disease and would have been difficult to treat with contemporary valves. And 3 out of the 5 patients, these are the very first 5 patients ever treated with this valve, and 3 of the 5 had bicuspid valve. 1 patient had near systemic pulmonary hypertension and was on dialysis. All these procedures were done with general anesthesia and TEE, just basically because of very early in the experience, all percutaneous femoral access, and commercial alignment was attempted in 4 out of the 5 patients. The first one, we just wanted to get the case done, so we did not attempt. And 90-10 deployment was achieved in all of these patients, and all were discharged home. These were the outcomes despite peripheral arterial disease. There was no major vascular complications and no pacemaker. And PVL was really none to trace, which was other pleasant surprise. Again, very small number, but it was a nice pleasant surprise that the valve nicely anchored and the seal from the skirt, really minimal PVL. Hemodynamics mean gradient was single digit, even at 30-day echo, and with very good valve area. On the top and the bottom, you see these valve frames. The top images, the top row is from a CT scan that was done on all those 5 patients, and the bottom is a fluoro. And right off the bat, you see it's very symmetric, cylindrical valve. In fact, there are rods, there are vertical rods, as you can see, in the frame, which means there cannot be any shortening of this valve as you deploy. So in summary, it's a 8 French delivery system. It's much less invasive, which could be useful in peripheral arterial disease patients where, sometimes we need alternate access. Women, it may be useful. It's nickel-free, which we'll find out with time. Does it play a role in subclinical halt or even clinical halt? We don't know that yet, but we'll see down the line. No foreshortening and allows precise placement of the valve. There is commercial alignment with minimal recoil, which hopefully will help with hemodynamics. And its cylindrical design, nitride oxide frame, a lot of features that we have tried to incorporate, hoping that this will demonstrate good durability. This was the team. We thank our team in Chile for allowing us to do those cases there. And by the end of this year, we're hoping to start the early feasibility study in the US. Thank you.